now, live from the 2015 Vancouver International Wine Festival, Anthony Gismondi and Casey Wilson. This is Tony and Casey's Best of Food and Wine on Sea Isle 650.
I say y'all having a good time out there.
Welcome back to the Best of Food and Wine. I'm Tony Gismondi.
I'm Casey Wilson.
The party's on, Casey.
It sure is. You can hear it.
The crowd is like crazy. I don't know if you cannot see to the end of the room, just people in every direction at every booth. But joining us now, somebody who's been busy all week in the festival. I think his booth has been overrun, actually. DavidQuillin, who I met, had the chance to visit last year at CaveDeTain in the Rhone Valley, just below the hill of Hermitage.
Absolutely.
You live like a king, buddy. Welcome to the show.
Thanks a lot. It's my first time in Vancouver, and I really appreciate the show. The people are very receptive, you know, very curious here. I really enjoy it. Yeah,
I told you it was a good market.
You told me, yes.
Yeah,
it's my first time in Vancouver, and I don't regret it at all.
You have to come back, eh?
I will.
Yeah. How long has your wine been in the market?
Our wine was in the market in Vancouver a long time ago. Then we stopped a bit to do business, and now we are back on the business here, knowing that what is important to understand at CaveDeTain is we are the largest producer, I insist on the producer, from the Northern Rhone. So we are really the Syrah specialists.
Yeah.
Voilà.
And it's interesting because we've been interviewing estate winery after estate winery. You're a cooperative, but with a very different story. Tell us what is a cooperative and how does it work at CaveDeTain?
Yes, of course. It's very easy. It's a French history, if you want. What's happened? It's Sir Gambert de Loche who created CaveDeTain in 1933. Then he's got this idea to regroup plenty of people who get small plot of land. You know, with France historic, it's a long time ago. So let's say you have two sons, you've got 1 hectare. You share your hectare in two. Your two sons get two sons again. So they share the half of the hectare in two, and again and again. So the cooperative is here to regroup all the small parcels. To give you an idea, we represent 1,000 hectares, which is not so big. It's very small. Don't forget that the north part of the Rhone Valley is not Châteauneuf-du-Pape. It's smaller than this. Bon. And then we've got 300 wine growers for 1,000 hectares.
Yeah.
And only 20 of them are living with the vine. All the rest, they're doing peach and apricot.
Yeah. Wow.
It's very good. But it's good for us too, because by doing peach and apricot, they know how to handle the vineyard. And we've got some, we can go straight away to the vineyard. Let's say, for example, when it's raining, they stop the apricot and they go straight to the vineyard to cut the leaves. Because at CaveDeTain especially, we are sustainable development. We don't use chemical product. So it's a lot of work on the vine itself.
Yeah.
So it's very good.
So let's talk about some of the wines, the range of wines. I mean, I know there's several wines, but let's talk about some of the major wines at CaveDeTain and the ones that are coming to our market too.
Yes, absolutely. Alors, in your market, as I explained, we produce a lot of the Northern Rhone wine, and it's very easy at CaveDeTain because as we are a co-op, by the way, we just finished our new investment. We just invest 10 million euros in a new winery.
It's a sensational building, It was almost finished when I was there, but now it's ready, I guess.
It's ready, and a chance for us because it was raining this year, so a chance it was finished just on time.
Yeah.
So we've got more space to get the reception of the grape, and we can we were able to do 800 tons a day.
Wow.
So it was big tough.
Can visitors go to the...
Absolutely, yes, it's a good question. France is a bit late, but now what we've done is now we start to open our mind on œnotourism. And now we employed a young lady, and you will have a special dedicated site on the winery where you can go alone and you can go and visit it, yes. Correct.
Good.
Yes, it's very good. In France, everybody closed the cellar, and I think we need to reverse. When you go to California, when you go to Australia, you've got the restaurants, the cellar. You can spend the whole day there.
Yes, same in South America. Beautiful place.
That means you have to spend the day with us. That's the problem, with the customer.
Yes, but
it's very un-French.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, the Northern Rhone is all about mostly Syrah.
It is.
You've got a lot of different bottlings, but you brought, I think you brought 3 pretty interesting selections of Syrah to us tonight.
Yes.
Which are different than the Shiraz that we've been seeing from Australia.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I love the Shiraz, Australian wine. Don't make me wrong. I love the Coonawarra one. It's very warm. But our Syrah, if you want, it's the real birthplace of the Syrah itself. We know now by DNA, since the Institute of California was talking about it, but it's du Reza, which comes from the Ardèche. So Ardèche is Saint-Joseph, it's just on the other side of the road, and a white grape variety called Mondeuse from the French Alps. So we don't know exactly if it was in Hermitage or in Côte-Rôtie, which is further north, but we know that the Syrah, the birthplace of the Syrah is Aoura.
So they like cross-pollinated or something like that?
Absolutely.
They came together in a field and Syrah was born.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it was born there because of the climate, which is a very cool climate in my area.
Sure.
And also because of the ground. The ground is mainly granitic. It's plenty of very, very old granite in my area, which is fantastic for the Syrah.
What would you say is the difference between Syrah and Shiraz?
Good question.
A different style?
The different style, yes, and I think that it's not the same. It's not exactly the same grape, too. You know, we used to cross all those grapes.
Yes.
By the way, in CaveDeTain, we participate to. We've got 1 hectare and we plant. I think it's 250 different type of Syrah from all around the world. Because what's happened now, especially in France, is we've got the deperdation sickness.
Yep.
And after 60 years old, the Syrah is dying. We were doing too much crossing between the Syrah to get more in volume. And now we don't want the volume anymore, so we do green harvest every year almost. And with this specific parcel, we try to decross the Syrah and to be back to the original one.
And maybe get 150-year-old vines down the road.
Absolutely.
Which would be great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Our guest is DavidQuillin. He's from CaveDeTain. And I want to talk, like the French have appellations. We know that, appellations are different. So in the Northern Rhone, Saint-Joseph, Côte-Rôtie, still Syrah, but different styles because of the soil or the terroir.
Absolutely, you're completely right on this one. Even if it's the same grape variety, even if it's the same area, it's not the same wine at all. We need to really understand. Gros Hermitage, for example, the first one we have here, is just at the bottom of the hill of Hermitage, where it was very alluvion. The Rhône and the Isère at the time being was taller, so it's plenty of alluvion, it's quite rich. And just at the back of the Hermitage hillside, we still have granitic. Gros Hermitage appellation. So at CaveDeTain we are able to blend both of them, and that's why this investment was a priority for us, because we now separate every single parcel we have, vinify them separately, and do the blend after that. Then the Hermitage hillside, of course, Anthony will finish with it. Hermitage hillside is the most famous hillside we have in my area. Already Plint the Elder was talking about this hillside in 745. So it was a very, very old vine there, of course.
And it's a hillside. You can climb up it. It doesn't take too long. It's just sits right there. It makes the entire bend of the river, but it's just an amazing old site.
Yes, it is.
And you have the great fortune of having a lot of acres available to you from Hermitage.
Yes, absolutely. Because when Gambert Deloche died, he's got no son, so he gave all the vineyard to CaveDeTain. Now CaveDeTain, on our own, we own 25 hectares, and with the wine grower we achieve 33 hectares. So we are the second largest producer behind Michel Chapoutier and before Jaboulet.
Voilà. That is crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
That's amazing.
Most people don't. People in the business know it, but that gives you a great selection of Hermitage fruit. And while I was telling people to get over to the booth and try your Hermitage, such a delicious wine. So Rhone wines are on fire in Canada and North America. What do you think it is? Why are they so popular now?
Well, I think one reason is they're so well priced.
Exactly. It's exactly what I want to tell you. The thing is, if you want, in Rhône, our price never jump out of the roof.
Yes.
CaveDeTain, as a cave cooperative, we supply also, it's our job to supply the negociant. we handle the price. If it's a good year or if it's a bad year, we handle the price.
Yes.
So the price stays the same. And as you said, the level of quality in my area is very high. When you've got people like Michel Chapoutier, Jaboulet, Jean-Louis Chave, Jean-Luc Colombo, all of them are
big famous names making
big
great
famous
wines.
names and great wines. And all the wine in my area is really, as you said, very good value for money still.
Yes.
Yeah,
But
but your cooperative is an excellent example of the new age of cooperatives too in France. Like you're all about quality now. Before it was, a lot of cooperatives just threw the grapes in there and went home for the weekend. That doesn't happen anymore.
No, it's not happening anymore. You're absolutely right to notice that. We don't pay our wine grower on quantities they bring. We pay them on qualities they bring. We change everything in their mind.
Yes,
All
exactly.
the yield, we never achieve the yield at CaveDeTain. The law determine the yield you can do on Croz, on Cornas and on Hermitage. At CaveDeTain, every single year we are below this yield, but we prefer it's a better extraction and the guys are really taking care of the vine, we are all sustainable development, so we need to work really hard in the vineyard itself.
And David, what type of foods do you, in your region, I'm sure it differs from the barbecue in Australia, what type of foods do you like with Syrah?
With the Syrah, it's difficult because, if you take the example, for example, of the Croz Hermitage, what I love to do with the Croz Hermitage, very easy. You buy a duck, you pan it very quickly on the pan, on each side, very hot temperature. Then you put it in the oven, very slow temperature, very, very slow. So the blood will cook inside and it will be very juicy, okay?
Yes.
Then you pull out the grease and you buy a bag of frozen red berries that you put around just 15 minutes in the oven to be warm, and it's fantastic. Then after the Cornas, for example, it's a very, very hot area there. It's a Roman theater, so it's very, very hot. Cornas, I love it with game, with wild boar. I know you love your game also.
Fantastic.
Too. Yeah. And my wife is working at Valrhona, which is a good chocolate factory, and I do some dark
which
chocolate.
Is like right next door to your place, the Valrhona factory. I know, it's such a great town. Amazing.
Valrhona?
Yeah.
Right beside him.
I want to move there.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
DavidQuillin, by the way, every time I look at you, I'm waiting for this Irish lilt to come out, but you're so French, man. I love it.
Yeah, I'm very French.
Thanks so much for joining us today. Thanks for coming to Vancouver and bringing your wines, and good luck in the future.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
DavidQuillin joins us from CaveDeTain. You'll be able to find these wines in British Columbia liquor stores. Really, they are bargains from the Rhone Valley. Get over to the booth tonight if you have time before they close at 10 o'clock. We are going to take a very short break and come back to the floor of the Vancouver International Wine Festival. We're going to meet the Aussie dudes who put it all together, and we're going to talk a bit about how successful this week has been and what the future is. All that and more on 650 Sea Isle in just a moment. We'll be right back.
There's lots more still ahead. Live from the 2015 Vancouver International Wine Festival, this is Tony and Casey's Best of Food and Wine on Sea Isle 650.